Okay. Hi, everyone. Tonight we have a very special guest for you. We have Black Brilliance and Beast Mode coming to you, Mr. Wellington Brown. I read your background. He is a senior personal trainer down at LA Fitness. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the show, Wellington. What is the mind doing in the background? Can you hear me? I can't hear you. I can't hear you. You may have to turn it up. I still can't hear you. We're going to get this right, no matter. Hmm. Let's see. It may be something on Armand's end. Let me see. So you can hear me? I can't hear you at all. Let me see. We're going to get it together in a moment. Let's see what's going on with technical difficulties here.
Hey, leave out and come back in, Wellington. Well, Melissa, we're gonna get this, Melissa.
I'm going to get you. You need an IT person.
Hey, I know.
It's all good.
I'm trying to get Jaja to come on. Well, she does. She's working at the school.
Okay.
Yeah, she's working at the school. So I'm gonna get a. I'm gonna actually go for another intern and see what I can do. But in the meantime, we can do this. We can talk about.
You hear the voice? We're doing a little better.
Oh yeah, there you
All
are.
right. It's
Yes.
got to fix.
Okay. Okay. Well, I introduced you, but it's okay. Introduce you again, Mr. Wellington Brown. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the show. I am honored to have you here tonight. I was excited when I saw your bio, your background. So introduce yourself and tell the audience about Wellington.
Yeah, guys. My name is Wellington. Love it here. I'm a New Yorker first and foremost. I'm new to the DMV area. I love it down here though. You
What
guys
part
drive a
of New
little.
York?
I'm originally from Brooklyn, but I grew up in Queens Village.
Okay.
From the 516, 718 area.
Okay.
Um, Miss it, y'all. I love it down here. Y'all nice. Y'all drive a little crazy, but we getting used to it. So it's a good time down here, right?
Oh, wait, judgment about Maryland driving. My husband is from New York, and when we drive through to Queens, Jamaica Queens, I don't even know how y'all survive up there.
I mean,
Mm,
we're a little aggressive, but we use those things called blinkers. So it's a fun time in New York. Like we can tell y'all, but we can bring them down here too. It's a good time down
okay.
here.
All right, I appreciate that.
Of course. But a little background on myself. So I started off as an athlete. Always did track and field. Track and field was my jam throughout high school and college. Went to college on a full ride for track and field. That's where I really got into the realm of fitness. I was really big on getting myself in shape so I can be better at my craft. I took that, graduated with a degree in health and physical education, did a little bit of work in physical therapy as well as a teacher. And if you know, I'm Jamaican too. So if you know Jamaicans, we got like five different jobs. So I would say I'm a man of many talents. I tap into different realms or different branches of the world of fitness. It could be massage therapy, personal training, swim lessons. It's a lot of different avenues, but all of which has helped me to grow to become the person that's been able to assist so many people in regards to fitness and help them hitting their fitness goals. So that's a little background
Oh,
on myself.
I love that. So, just looking at your background, um, I see that first of all, let me start with this. What's your training philosophy? That's always the biggest thing I want to know from individuals when they're in fitness and health and fitness. So, what's your training philosophy?
My training philosophy would be that you can achieve anything that you can put your mind to. I'm a vessel to help individuals to reach their specific fitness goals. If you have a dream in mind, we can get there. It's all about planning, execution, and commitment. Any fitness goals is achievable. It's just how willing are you to commit to the process to allow it to be done. So that's my job. I usually like to help people to see that picture, build that timeline, and allow themselves to ideally hit those specific fitness goals. That's my passion.
Okay, and that's a very important word, your passion versus your job, because I think we have a lot of trainers out there. I will tell you, I've seen some in the gym, and I'll be honest, it's typically when I travel. they're standing talking on their phone while their client is working out, doing their thing. So what's your thought process behind that? Whenever you take on a new client and bring them into your world or get them passionate about fitness as well, trying to get them healthy, how do you get them inundated in all of that just to get them started? So what does that look like for you? And what does that look like for a new client coming in?
So I always say in regard, specific in the fitness realm with personal training, there's two aspects to it: the personal aspect and the training aspect. And to truly see people be successful in the gym, you have to cater to both. Like I would say, as a trainer, you can't train everybody the same way. It's not like a cookie cutter situation. Some people need someone who's going to be a little bit more loud and screaming in their face. Other people need someone who's going to be a little bit more standoffish, a little bit more stoic. Some people need a happy mix between the two. It just all depends on the individual. Just pinpointing specifically what motivates them, and then using that to ideally guide them or assist them towards insert goal here. Most people work with a coach because we say that we push you a little bit harder than you'd push yourself, and that doesn't necessarily mean that that you're sweating and huffing and puffing. And, oh my God, I can't breathe. It's just taking you outside of whatever your normal comfort zone of whatever it is that you do in the gym, and adding some variations into it so that we can ideally see yourself move the needle forward towards what success looks like or what your goal would be. Now, working with different individuals, now, like you have your trainers who stand in the back and are on their phones. Some people like that style of training. At least in my business, I can see that we're very successful at being a little bit more hands-on. We
Mm-hmm.
count out every rep. We're in your face. We're giving corrections, high fives, positive reinforcement, as well as consistent criticism. Is the we'd say the equation that we use to see so many people be successful at our locations.
I love it. I love it. And also, as I was looking at your background, you do movement and rehabilitation. So I'm going to call you a movement and rehabilitation specialist. And with what you were just talking about, how do you tailor a plan when it comes to specific needs or limitations of a client? So if I came to you, whether it's me or anyone else, I know that you have a lot of individuals that probably come to you or afraid to approach a trainer in terms of what it is that they need. So just to break the ice and have that comfort zone for your client, how do you set up those specific goals and limitations for them or those needs?
Oh, I love it. So in the initial stages, we talking about the real nitty gritty. What are we trying to do? Like, what are our goals? We want slimmer arms. We want a flat stomach. We trying to make the butt sit up like a shelf. Like, what are we doing in the gym? We break the
Oh, I
ice.
want my butt to look like a shelf. I need to get on your schedule, like
Come
time.
talk to me. We'll sit it up like a shelf and make you drag the
All
wagon
right,
too.
that works for me.
But something as simple as that, break the ice, get them comfortable, talk to me real, let me know exactly what you're looking to get out of the gym. That way they can open up, they feel a lot more comfortable, they'll tell me the truth about what they're really dealing with. Because every individual that sits in front of me, they talk to me about something different. Like we might be talking about, I want to build my mobility from a previous injury. I just want to be able to walk up the stairs and not be out of breath. Like different people, different situations, all working towards the same goal. I want to look better, I want to feel better. So the first step in making them feel better is to feel confident and trusting that I can see them through to success, that they can trust and believe that the service that I'm planning to offer them is going to be quality and is going to see them through to whatever goals it is that they're looking for. Because if they're sitting in front of me, at least to some extent they've tried it and it may not have worked. So now we're going to look to try a different avenue or a different way that'll ensure that it happens in the time span that we pick.
Okay, I like it. And how do you track their progress? And whenever you design plans, one, how do you track their progress? And two, when you're designing a plan for a specific client, do you give them at home exercises and how successful are you finding that to be?
It depends on the person. So there's different avenues or different specific programs that I'll set up for different people. Some people are more so looking to do like in gym, like lifting the heavy weights inside doing traditional training. So we'll set up a regimen that'll more so have them in the gym. Other people know that they're going to be very, what's it called, all over the place. They travel on a consistent basis, so we'll have to set up exercises that they're more so can do in like your hotel gyms or even alone in the room, like just more so calisthenic workouts. Just all depends on the person. We track their progress in different ways. We do body measurements. We'll track your actual physical measurements to see like the waist getting smaller, maybe even see those glutes getting a little bit bigger. And then we do physical measurements too. So we'll test like your functional strength, your overall cardio endurance, range of There's a lot of different tests that we do specifically physically and electronic tests like your body fat and BMI so that we can track your actual body measurements and how your body composition is changing over time. And ideally, we do these different measurements at different incremental basis to ensure that we're testing you on a consistent basis and ensuring that we hit the goal in the time span that we're looking for.
So what type of increment? Are we talking every 2 weeks, once a month, once every 2 months? Like how does that look for a lot of clients or majority of your clients?
So myself usually will look to test your body fat and BMI on a bi-weekly basis. Every week we'll be looking to test like your functional strength. So we want to see your range of motion getting larger over time, your cardio endurance growing as on a week by week basis, so that we keep you motivated to see if the program is working for yourself. And then we usually do physical measurements on a monthly basis because like once a month you get to see the waist is shrinking by like 3 inches, or so your arms growing by like 4 or 5 or whatever maybe that
Wait
you're
a
looking
minute,
for.
3 inches? Oh, I
3 inches.
know. I got some people that I'm about to send to you for real.
Come
Three
on now, we're gonna
inches.
make them look
Okay.
like this in both ways, right?
Yes. Okay. I like that. So you focus on movement and rehabilitation. Can you just talk to the audience a little bit about what that focus truly is and what that looks like? And then I'm going to get into all these other jobs you have because I have a lot of questions and I don't know how you have the time, but I want to start with the movement and rehabilitation piece. What does that focus on?
So movement and rehabilitation specifically works on range of motion and flexibility, overall wellness. I work with individuals who are dealing with neuropathy, who have very limited movement. I'm working with individuals who also may have a hip or knee replacement, so they have obviously more range of motion, but a little bit less discomfort, we would say. So depending on the person, we built out that rehabilitation plan based on them. So some people start in the water. We end up doing water workouts because it's weightless, allows a lot more leeway so that they can feel comfortable to move their body in the way that they wouldn't necessarily feel comfortable on dry land. And then we'll look to transition out. Other people will just look to do more so stretching and more like rehabilitation exercises that work on the range of motion, specifically on the dry side, and just look to see that those specific exercises grow or see that range of motion grow consistently over time. So just it depends on the person. It's very customized to each individual. But ideally, when it comes to the rehabilitation piece of it, we're more so looking to see your range of motion consistently grow and also see that you're specifically range of motion is what we're looking for, range of motion and flexibility.
Okay. And with that, so whenever you get your clients in and you're working with them on range of motion, what are you seeing mostly from the physical therapy side of it? Muscle injuries or ligament injuries or both? And which is more detrimental to the individual in your mind? And two, when you're looking at the rehab process, muscle versus ligament, what does that timeline look like for healing if they're actually compliant with your programs?
So when you're compliant with the program, you usually see, depending on what the injury, the severity is, can range anywhere from 6 weeks to 3 to 4 months. This all depends on the specific injury. Now, I will say a muscle is a little bit easier to heal than a ligament. Muscles grow, so it's a lot higher blood supply that goes through the muscle, so it's easier for it to rehab itself versus a ligament. Regardless of either of the two, if you ideally follow the process in regards to the base range of motion, we're big on rest, ice, compression, and elevation in our initial stages, and then we slowly look to build and continue to build the range of motion as that scar tissue sets in, and then work on the flexibility so we can work that stuff out. Ideally, if you follow our process or follow the regimen that we set in front of you, it usually can take anywhere, depending on the injury, it can take anywhere from 3 weeks and be as quick. It can be as quick as 3 weeks, take you as long as 3 months, maybe in 6 months. It just depends on the specific injury or what we're dealing with. But the timelines are usually rigid and they're pretty set. They're pretty straightforward as long as you follow the process of the stretching, follow rice in the initial stages, and then go through the exercises that we have set forth for you.
Okay. And with that, let's see, how do I want to word this question? I know if you were the patient, just so that the audience know how to advocate for themselves. I know a lot of people are under this impression that if I've never had surgery, I injured something, I really don't need to go to rehab. But if I were your patient, or if you were the patient, what type of questions would you come to the table with whenever you're looking for a physical therapist or physical training just to get you back to some level of functionality?
I would ask what the timeline is, like what is the roadmap? Ask them what their plan is. Are you looking to start by allowing me to move a certain way? Is there a certain gait that you're looking to see me do? Like, is there tightness? Like, ask as many questions as possible so that you get an understanding of exactly what the timeline looks like. Sometimes in physical therapy places, they'll nod and prod, like, well, test and retest and see if this works. They'll see if something else works, and that timeline can sometimes be drawn out. So being a proactive member of that timeline, ask questions every week. Am I doing better? Is this looking like what are we still on pace for the timeline that we picked in originally? Don't just sit back and go through the motions. Be an active participant in your own rescue. I always say, ask questions of your therapist, and then ideally they'll be able to ensure that they can give you all the information that you need so you can see what's going on. Ask about their credentials. How long have you been doing this for? Have you seen injuries like this previously? And what do you think has worked best previously to see this through? If they can give you answers that kind of speak towards something that makes more sense to you, I would be a little bit more comfortable with that therapist versus someone who seems like they might be talking in circles. I'd be a little bit more apprehensive of them, if that makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense. So, with that, just to backtrack, tell us a little bit about your credentials, a little more about your background and what kind of drove you to this piece, other than the track and field and everything. What has been your inspiring moment to get you here and your credentials, just so that people know, okay, if I come look for you at, by the way, which LA Fitness are you at?
I'm at the LA Fitness in Bowie, New Jersey.
Okay.
Bowie, Maryland, excuse me.
Okay. I'm like, New Jersey. Whoa. Okay, everyone, Bowie, Maryland. You know where Wellington is now. So if you could tell us a little bit about your background, since you brought that up, that's a great question too.
So my background in regards to this, I have a degree in health and physical education. I worked in a physical therapy location for a period of time, assisting with the patients on the floor and ideally getting a better understanding of how regimens were built. I've transitioned out of the physical therapy realm like about a year or two after I finished college, and then I became a teacher. So I was a physical education teacher for a period of time, health and physical education.
What
That
grade?
I taught was it was all my elementary school, so I went second through fifth grade. It was a really fun time.
Okay.
Mhm.
Was it really?
Yeah, so I love them. The kids are great. They
Good
take a lot of
answer.
patience. They take a lot of patience. They're fun. They're big energies, they want to run around, Lord Jesus. But it's a good time. We love the kids, love the babies, love the babies. But yes, we transitioned out of that to more so work with adults. Really big in the track and field road for a period of time. So once I had a career ending injury, I tore my Achilles. I had to do my own rehab. I had to go through the process of figuring out after I got the surgery. I went through the PT process for a couple months, and I just wasn't 100%. So I was trying to figure out like what could I do that would allow me to feel better because I like to play basketball. I'm a sportsy guy. So if I can't move the way I feel comfortable moving, I'm not going to be able to do the sports to the ability that I want to.
Mhm.
So what I did for myself to ideally get myself moving is I started swimming. So I hopped in the pool. I started swimming laps. So I just started like getting myself. I always grew up with the pool in the backyard, so I knew how to swim. And swimming was a great avenue to help with the range of motion because you can do so much in the pool. Like if you ever do pool workouts, it's great for your overall blood circulation, range of motion. It makes you feel weightless, so you can move a little bit better in the water. Majority of rehab exercises, a lot of personal training, a lot of physical therapists, a lot of personal trainers will recommend doing exercises in the pool because there's so many benefits from doing water workouts
Mhm.
versus doing them on land. So the water workouts were great. I was swimming, my leg was getting a lot better. I feel like I was streamlining the process to get to a point where I can play sports the magnitude that I wanted to again. And just a lot of people would always come up and ask me like, do you teach swim lessons? You're a great swimmer. And I'm like, no, I never really thought about it. It's just, I like to swim. But enough people asked, and I'm like, all right, I can help you guys because it seemed like a lot of people that look like myself had questions and really wanted to be as confident in the pool as I was.
Mhm.
So that was a small step that branched me into Brown Boy Swim School. So I own my own swim school. We teach people how to swim in both New York, New Jersey, and we're looking to open a faction in the Maryland area as well. The mission statement for the business is we're here to help people of color feel comfortable and confident in and around bodies of water. We're proud to say that we've taught over 500 people how to swim in the past 2 years. So it's growing, it's doing an amazing job. So we're very excited about it. Um, in the previous light, after I transitioned out of teaching, I worked in the nonprofit realm for a period of time. So I worked at a YMCA for a period as well.
Okay.
That's how I ended up being more so starting to build my repertoire in regards to fitness because I was both an aquatics and youth sports director, which helped me to get a lot more of a basis in regards to physical personal training. Now, that being said, right, man of many talents, right? So we helped with the pools, we fixed the pools. I was working at the East Orange YMCA, called the Small but Mighty YMCA. Program grew in a very short period of time, so I've learned how to service pools as well. So we have a pool servicing business as well, and one of the many factions in the Brown Boy Swim School realm. So that's a little background on how I ended up getting to this state where I can do both the pool and the dry side, and we're very confident in both.
How much chlorine is too much chlorine?
Well, if you can smell it, that means it's not enough there. But yes.
I love it. I love the piece for the movement piece in the water, easier on the joints. And when you look at clients that come in and you introduce them to the water, what if they have a fear? And I know you have your own business, which I absolutely love. So at the end, you have got to put that information out there again. Um, but how do you make people feel comfortable in that body of water when you know that's maybe the easiest place for them to start based on the individual, based on whatever their injury is or body build, body type?
Yeah, definitely. So first things first is just understanding their comfortability with the water. A lot of people are very confident in the water. Some people are terrified of the water. And the same process that I take in the initial phases of my assessments when I talk to people about personal training, I do the same thing in the water. First and foremost, let's be friends. My name's Wellington. What's your name? What's your likes? What's your dislikes? I'm from New York. Where you from? Let's talk. Let's have a good time. Let's make you feel nice and comfortable. That way we can look to feel confident and trusting that I can help you and make sure that you stay safe in the water. When it comes to swim lessons, the first things first is comfortability. You build rapport with the person, ensure that they believe that they can trust you, because they're in a body of water, what's it called, a body of a solution that they don't really know how to navigate through, essentially. So making people feel comfortable with you first and foremost is most important, and then we can look to make them feel comfortable in the actual water. So that's the process that I usually follow, both in PT and in the water.
Okay. Okay. So movement. I just want to kind of jump back to the piece of movement because you do the rehab and movement piece. And movement is basically focusing the priority on quality over strength. So explain that a little bit and what type of exercises do you use typically with patients that are, well, I don't want to say patients, clients that are coming in. What are the better exercises for them whenever they're coming into a program and they've been injured? And I promise we're going to get to the fitness piece in a second. And I want to know all about your fitness plans.
Mhm.
But this, because I know we have such a large audience, we have people that are either recovering from injuries, we have individuals that are, I call them, I'm not sure what to call them, but the overdoers.
Mhm.
And I hate to call them an overdoer because I found myself there as well, where you get an injury and it's harder and harder to bounce back because you're not following the plan. So just talk to us about the movement piece and the type of exercises and some recommendations.
So best recommendations, I would say, if you're just getting over an injury, start small and grow. It's hard to get that into your mind because if you're used to moving a certain way or to a certain caliber, a certain intensity, it's weird to get back into the swing of things and feel like you're taking a step back. You're not taking a step back. You're solidifying what you already have. If you push yourself too fast, too much, too early, you're going to do so much more harm to yourself than good. If it's supposed to be set as like a 6 week timeline, if you push yourself to where you're supposed to be on week five, on week one, you're going to push that timeline out and double it. It's going to be a 12-week timeline. If you continue that, it's just going to grow and grow and grow. You're
Mhm.
pushing your success off if you try to start too early. So start with where you feel comfortable. Like if, for instance, you're dealing with some hip flexor issues, get into the pool, start by doing some basic squats. Go about 45 degrees. From 45 degrees, look to grow to 90. From 90, try to go farther than 90. And then slowly grow as your body feels comfortable. Listen to your coach, listen to the fitness expert who's building the regimen for you, and trust the process. In the initial stages, it may feel as though this is easy. I can do this in my sleep, but it's all built for a reason. So in the initial stages with movements, like you want to start small, start with a small gait, and then test the waters if you feel comfortable going larger, going bigger, slowly but surely build that out. But I always say, start where you feel comfortable and then grow from there. Don't rush the process because that's how you end up with more delays.
Okay. Okay. So with that, let's transition a little bit to the fitness piece. tell me a little bit about your fitness plans, your programs that you put together for individuals. And then eventually I have some questions about nutrition to the person that is in the background eating something that they probably shouldn't be eating, but no shade, no shade. But no, just tell us a little bit about your training plans. Usually, how long does it realistically take clients to see results? Because I know that's a lot. That's a big question. People come in and be like, hey, I need a six pack tomorrow, and I don't know what you need to do, but get it for me. Just like I want my booty sitting up on this top shelf
Give
in
me this
3 days,
six-pack and make
Wellington.
me drag this wagon tomorrow. Put it in the microwave, put it on 90 seconds, let's make it happen now.
Yes,
Most people come
yes.
and talk to me about. So being realistic about timelines is first and foremost. So usually it takes about 1 to 2 weeks to lose a pound of fat. It takes about 4 to 5 weeks to put on a pound of muscle. And once we understand that, that makes it a lot easier for us to build out a timeline and feasibly see how long it will take for us to hit a specific goal. Like, for example, let's say you're looking to lose about 30 pounds.
Mm.
For you to burn 1 pound of fat, you need to burn 3,500 calories. So 35, those numbers equate to each other. So
A
3,500
day?
calories, not necessarily in a day, just over the
Oh,
course of time.
Lord, what?
A caloric deficit of 3,500 equates to burning 1 pound of fat. So
Mm.
those are our numbers that we're going to match up. So each workout that you do in the gym is going to range anywhere between like 150 or 1,200 calories, depending on what you're doing. So 9 times out of 10, when you work with a coach, they're going to tell you that you need to be in the gym at least 3 days a week, a minimum of 3 to 4 days a week. That way, regardless if you're leaning towards the 150 or leaning towards the 1,200, you're still on pace to lose roughly somewhere close to like 0.75 to a little bit more than a pound and a half worth of fat on a weekly basis. Now, the way I build my regimens out for most people, which I usually set up a 3-step process. In the initial stages, we work on cardio endurance and your form. This way we can build your wind and ensure that when you're doing certain exercises, you're doing it with the proper form and we're not wasting a repetition, as I said. Then our second phase, we usually build out a fat burning specific exercise so that your wind's up so we can push you a little bit harder. That way we can ideally look to drop your body fat percentage or drop the pounds to get to specific numbers, the specific goal weight or body fat percentage that we're specifically looking for. And then we look to transition into more of the hypertrophy phase. That's when we look to build the muscle. We do the specialty exercises. If we're looking to put on them a little bit more on this wagon, we'll do the more specific glute exercises that are a little bit more involved, picking up a little bit heavier weight, so that we can see the specific visual goals that we're looking for. So that's the 3-step process that I usually use to build out all the workouts for my specific clients. And then in regards to timeline, I build out a timeline that speaks to them ideally looking to burn about a pound of fat on a weekly basis. So that's how we build out the timelines to see specifically how long it'll take for someone to hit their goals. Now, that being said, just because you're looking to lose insert number here doesn't mean that's how many weeks it's going to take. So if you're looking to lose about 30 pounds, I'm not saying that it always will end up being just 30 weeks. It can happen sooner. It just all depends on the frequency that you come to the gym and the specific workouts that you're doing. Another aspect that can gauge the timeline would be your target heart rate. So your target heart rate is your sweet spot for your heart rate when you're in the gym. So ideally, when you're working out, everyone has a target heart rate. It's based on your resting heart rate and your age. There's an algorithm that we use to build it out. But your target heart rate's your sweet spot. That's what ensures that you stay closer to that 1,200 number rather than the 150. So ideally, when you're in the gym, you want to track your heart rate on a consistent basis and ensure that you stay within that target heart rate throughout the workout so that you get the most out of the workout, and ideally lean closer to the number that's going to ensure that we shorten the timeline rather than lengthen it.
Okay. Okay. And so you mentioned about getting in the zone. The coach is talking to your client about, you're talking to him about getting in the zone. For anybody that's a novice workout individual, you're just getting started. What does that mean? And then also, I want you to cover the piece on your cardio endurance whenever you're trying to build the endurance for an individual, whether they're starting out, intermediate, or advanced. What does that look like? And then talk to us about those fat burning exercises. Now, the hypertrophy, we know we need to lift weights, but the question for that one is, do you prefer machine versus
Free
the
weights.
still? Yep, free weights. Yeah. So starting with the zone piece, when
Okay,
you're
so
talking to a client, okay, I just came to the gym. What do you mean get in the zone, coach? What do you mean?
So when I say get into your target heart rate zone, it's the ideal sweet spot for your heart. It's the beats per minute that we want your heart to be pumping to ensure your body's cycling over. You boost what's known as your metabolic state, so that you're burning more calories. Boost your metabolism, so that not only you're burning more calories in the gym, you're burning more calories in a resting state also, so that your body's ideally burning off fat even in the rest phase.
Mhm.
So your target heart rate for most novices, your average heart rate ranges between like 65 and 80 beats per minute. So most people's target heart rate kind of lands anywhere between about 125 to like 140. Now, that being said, with the target heart rate, so if you're looking to come into the gym and you're new to this, like trying to stay within around 125 to 140 would be the best bet for you. There's a lot of apps on your watches also that track your heart rate. It has like a color code system on it, so it'll tell you like what your sweet spot should be, where it's a little bit, where you're on a little bit of an edge, or where you should kind of like look to back off. So speaking to the target heart rate, let's say, for example, your target heart rate is 130 beats per minute. You get a little bit of wiggle room. You get like 10 points below and 10 points above. So if your target heart rate's 130 and you're around like 120 beats per minute, that's okay. Your metabolism's boosted. You're in a good spot. You're in a good range where your heart rate's going to be, you're going to get the most out of your workout. Now, if your target heart rate's 130, you start creeping up somewhere close to like 145, 150, that's more of your indication to like back off, take a couple minutes to catch your breath, and then get back into your workout. If you're working out too low below your target heart rate, you're burning like your starches and your sugars, the stuff your body needs. If you're working out too high above your target heart rate, you're overexerting yourself. You're doing more harm to yourself than good. Believe it or not, that's why there's recovery periods built into your workouts, not necessarily because we're too tired to continue. It's because if you push yourself too high outside of your target heart rate, it's not actually going to benefit you. So that's why when you work with a coach, we try to gauge that and ensure that you stay within that sweet spot so that you get the most out of your workouts.
Mhm. Okay, and then talk to them about cardio exercises or cardio endurance. Typically, what are you doing for your clients, or what would you recommend for cardio endurance, whether you're starting out or whether you've been doing it for a while? What does those exercises look like for most of your individuals?
So I do cardio a little bit different. Most people, when they come to the gym, they like to hit the treadmill, the bike for like hour, 45 minutes to an hour. I'll do your cardio in about 10 minutes, but I'm gonna do something a little bit more intense. We'll do like farmer's carries, we'll push the sled, we'll do exercises that get your heart pumping so that we get the most out of it. Me personally, I like to get it done quick so I can go home and enjoy the rest of my day. I'd rather do something that's going to be quality for 10 minutes rather than consistent over a course of period of time. Now, anaerobic cardio is great. If I were to give one recommendation to the public, do not cardio yourself to death. Coming to the gym and doing the treadmill for 30 minutes, the bike for 30 minutes, and then the elliptical for 30 minutes, you're getting yourself moving. So thank you for coming to the gym and moving yourself, but that's not enough. That's not it. That gets you sweating. It feels like you're doing a lot because you're sweating, your body's moving a lot. But too much cardio can actually stunt your progress rather than actually see it through to success. You need to do a mix of both strength training and cardio, ideally leaning a little bit more towards the strength training side to see the goals that you're looking for. Like
Mhm.
put it into perspective, right? The way most people don't know how muscles grow. Like ideally, when you're in the gym, you pick up the heavy stuff, your muscles tear, the inner stock pushes out to a certain distance. In layman's terms, there's this whole protein synthesis process that happens that allows for the muscles to grow back over the tears. And ideally that process that allows the muscle to recover, your body actually pulls the energy from the fat in your body. So if you're looking to burn fat, you're going to do it a lot quicker by doing strength training rather than doing a boatload of cardio. um,
Mhm.
yeah, so that in the recovery phase, your body pulls the energy from the fat in your body to fuel your muscles to grow over where the tears happen. And every time you come to the gym, that process continues, and that's how your muscles grow. So one word for that would be hypertrophy. Hypertrophy is the act of your muscles getting larger. And we know the
So,
inverse of. Go ahead. I'm
oh,
sorry.
go ahead. No, no, no. Go ahead. No, no, no.
The inverse of that is called atrophy. Atrophy is when your muscle mass will shrink, and ideally, as the muscle mass goes down, your body fat percentage rises. So they kind of talk to each other. It's like a balancing act. So as you build your muscle mass, you're going to see your body fat percentage drop, but vice versa, as your muscle mass drops, you'll see your body fat percentage start to rise. So to truly see your body like burn fat in a much shorter period of time, you're going to look to do the strength training. Cardio mainly burns like 1/3 of a fat. So of the three aspects, you have your triglycerides, cholesterol, and phospholipids. And of the three aspects, cardio mainly burns your triglycerides. Your body needs triglycerides, but if we're burning fat, we're burning fat. Now to focus on the two pieces we really want to get out, it's going to be that cholesterol and the phospholipids. The strength
So
training
why
is
did
what's going
you why did you emphasize the word cholesterol? Tell us.
Ah, cholesterol specifically, because a lot of us, it's a commonality that once we reach a certain age, we all start to deal with, well, a lot. We see a higher percentage of people dealing with cholesterol issues that both speak to our dietary habits. We can definitely talk about that, but also speaks to what we do in the gym. So if we're in the gym and we're only doing a boatload of cardio, like I said, of the three aspects are our triglycerides, cholesterol, and phospholipids. We're mainly just burning our triglycerides if we're doing a boatload of cardio. So all that cholesterol and phospholipids are still sitting in our system because we're not doing what we need to burn that stuff off. So that's why I always preach that you need to incorporate strength training if you're coming to the gym. Cardio is not enough, because if you're looking to see the change, like if you're on medication and you're looking to get off medication, you need strength training to allow that to happen.
Okay. And just kind of going back to the rehab piece and then the strength training piece, because a question popped up. If someone is looking to train through a torn rotator cuff or a rotator cuff issue, what type of recommendations do you have for that individual, other than one, going to their doctor or their physical therapist? But what type of exercises should they be looking to do to kind of help rehab that?
Range of motion exercises, more so stuff that works on the flexion of the arm. I would say if you're dealing with specific, it depends on the gait, like the severity of it. If you're at a point where it's completely torn, um, go to PT, get that fixed, then come see me. If you're at a
Okay.
point where it's like slightly like you've already went to PT and you're still dealing with a little bit of ailments, there's specific stretching exercises that we can do. The chest fly machine's a great one, but I ideally use minimal weight on that. Play around with it so you see what feels comfortable. I'd use the bands to ideally stretch out the arms. I first and foremost with the rotator cuff issue, I definitely start with stretching. Stretch it out, work on the overall range of motion, get it moving, get it comfortable moving. And once it's comfortable moving, then you can look to build the muscle around it, specifically on the delts, your traps, your scapular muscles as well. And then building the muscle around the rotator cuff will take the pressure off of it so you won't deal with as much discomfort as you were dealing with previously. I tell that person to come talk to me so I can build a regimen for them.
Okay, perfect. We're going to put a plug in and make sure we get them to you. Um, so you were talking about hypertrophy versus atrophy.
Hmm.
GLPs, I want to tie that into GLPs because now that has become the big craze all over the world. I'm seeing a lot of people lose a lot of weight and they are not doing anything else with it. So, first of all, what is your take on GLPs? And two, what would you say to an individual that says, okay, I lost all this weight and now that's it. I'm good. I don't want to do anymore, but that they're losing the muscle mass as well. So, what are your
So I would
thoughts?
say for GLPs, it's a good question. GLPs it's a great avenue. I mean, people take them. I would say I'm old school, so I'm gonna say do it the right way. The geo pills are great. It's a quick fit. It's a fix. It'll help you see the results that you're looking for. Now that being said, how's the phrase go? Faith without works is dead, right? So if we're taking the GLPs, but we're still sitting down and doing the exact same thing we were doing before we took the GLPs, when we stop taking the GLPs, we can't be too surprised if we end up going back to square one. So if we're going to do it, okay, I'm not gonna I don't like to people are all adults. You can do what you want. I always say though, I would prefer you do it the traditional way. Come to the gym, work out the right way, change your diet, change your lifestyle habits. That's going to be the long term fix for you. Because regardless if you take the GLPs or well, you're still going to need to do that. Because if you don't change your lifestyle habits, when the GLP is finished, the pounds are going to come back on. They work. The GLPs are great. It helps you burn fat in a relatively short period of time. But ideally, we need to change our lifestyle habits as well to ensure that it's sustained and it's maintained.
Okay. And with that, we talk about lifestyle changes. Talk to people a little bit about nutrition, that piece. What is that whenever you're taking on a new client or just in general for yourself? What does nutrition look like to get you to function the way you should at that top peak performance? And I know it could be person dependent based on medical condition, background, or whatever, injuries. But what would you say to people when it comes to nutrition?
When it comes to nutrition, I would say you can get really specific. Like me personally, when I build custom meal plans for people, I'll tailor the macros, I'll do all that stuff. I'll make it really easy for them. But for someone just looking to get started, just follow your basic do's and don'ts. Try to ensure that you're trying to eat your three square meals a day. Drink a good bit of water. Limit the amount of red meat,
Uh-oh.
as those are two main food groups that promote a lot of mucus.
Your camera went out. Uh-oh. This is good. Oh no. Is it on my end? I'm not sure what happened. I can't even hear you.
I'm going to contact him real quick, okay? His camera went out.
Okay. I like him.
He's not bad, huh?
Nope.
In the meantime, you can talk a little bit about the upcoming event.
Sure. March 28th, correct?
March 21st.
24th. That's why I'm not there, because I'm out. Yeah. Let me put out the specifics. Are we going, is it going 6 to 9? 6 to 10?
6 to 10.
The event I'm not gonna be able to make, come on, but I'm gonna put it out. Let's see.
Hey, Melissa, I got you.
Thank you. Since you want to put me on blast, ain't on my notes.
Everybody, we are having our annual Legends from the Past and Future Show awards dinner, and I will talk to you more about it. I think we have them back. Welcome back.
I'm here. Love those Wi-Fi issues, but we're here. We're back. So
That's
sorry
okay.
about that.
I think we were talking about riding dirty and trying to get all the results that you want. Talking about nutrition.
Yes, we were talking briefly about nutrition. Thank you. I'm so sorry about that, guys. So nutrition facts. Yeah, so we're saying ideally to eat our 3 square meals. Recommendations in regards to water intake should be 80 to 125 ounces on a daily basis. Now, if we're talking about 16-ounce bottles, that's a minimum of ideally 5 16-ounce bottles. So if you're looking at yourself like, I usually only drink like 1 or 2 bottles a day, we need to bump our water intake up. Now, if you're at like 1 or 2 bottles, I'm not saying tomorrow guzzle 5 bottles of water. Slowly grow. Like just get to a point where you can drink the water consistently. And my best recommendation is usually drink a bottle of water with each meal and try to sprinkle 2 bottles in throughout the in between, and that should get you to the point where you need to be. Now, in regards to the food groups, we're speaking to the red meat and the dairy. It's great. Eat it. Limit it. Don't eat too much. Red meat and dairy are 2 main food groups that promote a lot of mucus, so you can see your body fat percentage start to rise. So always be cognizant of how much of that you're eating on a consistent basis. If we're dealing with issues specifically with cholesterol, we want to be cognizant of how many carbs we're taking in on a consistent basis as well. I'm not saying don't eat any carbs, but if 1 scoop of rice is enough. If we're at 4 or 5 on one meal,
So I can't have 4 Krispy Kreme donuts?
Maybe limit it to 1.5 or maybe 1, but
Oh.
four might be something as a reward after a really long run or a really good day. I'll always say when I give nutrition guidance to people, I don't like to change the way you eat. Like you should eat what you want. If you eat a certain way, you should continue to eat that way. However, we can eat the right way so that we can eat what we want, but still work towards our goals. So ensuring there's a lot of colors on the plate, eating yourself a good bit of vegetables. How many fruits do you eat on a consistent basis? Apples, berries, citrus, and melons. What else would we say? Limit your alcohol intake, and if you're someone that has lifestyle habits in regards to smoking, limiting that as well. Those are some of the base recommendations I usually give individuals when it comes to the meal plans and what they should be eating. I say my biggest recommendation I usually give people is minimize, if stay away from it all. Processed meats are really not good for the body. Can really see your progress it can really really slow down your progress in the grand scheme of things. There's a lot of carcinogens, and I don't want to speak to it too much, but limit the processed meats. If I were to give you one recommendation. 2, drink more water, limit your processed meats. That's what I would say.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you this question that came from the outside, and I think it deserves burpees, really. But what about Snicker bars for energy? I'm just gonna turn my head, but yeah.
Ooh, Snicker bars for energy. Oh man. Well, for a rare time, I prided myself on saying I don't drink coffee, so I look for different alternatives. But I'd usually say a glass of orange juice, maybe not a Snickers bar, a small bit if you have a small piece, just to give yourself an energy boost, so you get yourself moving. I wouldn't recommend doing that on a consistent basis. I'd say some orange juice would be a great alternative. Maybe a small piece of dark chocolate would be a little better than a Snickers bar. But yes, it's a form of energy. I wouldn't necessarily use it as my initial form, as my primary source of energy. But if it's a quick fix or something that you have, so you can give yourself a little boost, I wouldn't necessarily say do it on a consistent basis. But I'm not going to tell you no. You know.
Okay, sounds good. And then on the nutrition piece, I have one other question. And then I would like for you to put information out there about your different businesses, where you train at, and all that good stuff. Um, Fast. How do you feel, and what do you think, or not necessarily how do you feel, what do you think about fast from a professional standpoint? I know I see a lot of people do it because they want to lose weight, or they're saying they detox, which I think the liver does a great job at detoxing the body. So I just want to see what your thoughts are.
My thoughts on fasting. So intermittent fasting has a lot of benefits that helps to cycle over your system. I can talk about that for hours, but we're not going to spend all day talking about that. Fasting isn't terrible. Now when I think more so the word I would say is let's stay away from is dieting. In regards to like, don't try to starve yourself or limit what you eat to lose weight. Because what ends up happening is at some point you're gonna get hungry, you're gonna eat, and it's going to all come back. So ideally eating empty calories like baby carrots, celery, things like that, things that will burn more calories by chewing than you intake by actually swallowing it is a great way for you to ensure that you're still eating, but ideally losing a couple pounds. In regards to fasting, it's not, there's not necessarily anything wrong with it. Do it with moderation. I would say don't go to the extreme. Don't push yourself too hard. If you feel comfortable, do it in the realm where you feel comfortable. I don't see any negative effects to fasting. So if you're looking to do it, absolutely go for it. But in moderation. Don't push yourself. Don't starve yourself. Eat when you feel as though you need to. If you're dieting, if you're switching the way you eat, you should never feel as though that you're still hungry. Like you shouldn't feel like you haven't had enough to eat. You should be eating the right things so that you get the right vitamins and minerals that's necessary for the body.
And how often do you think a person should eat to kind of like stoke their metabolism?
Depends on the person. It depends on there's a couple of factors there, like your BMR, how many calories your body burns in a resting state naturally. My best recommendation would be go for 3 meals on a daily basis. Like I would say, your heavier meal should actually be towards the morning. So most people, ideally, I would recommend having your heaviest meal be your breakfast, and then you slowly tailor off as you go towards the afternoon. Smallest meal being dinner, largest meal being breakfast.
Okay. And with that, Wellington, can you give us the information on one, where you work and train at? Because that has come through the chat quite a bit. People are wanting to come and see you.
Okay.
And two, what other businesses do you have? I would love to put a plug out there so that the audience would know where to go. We always love to have Black brilliant talent on the show in beast mode. Oh, and talk about your class too, because Armand's going to come to that class, and I hope to see you in
Okay.
a yoga class.
Absolutely. Let's talk it through. So, I am the senior personal training director for the Lansdowne, Maryland location, as well as the Bowie, Maryland location. So, if you're looking to see me, I'd love to see you guys come over to the Bowie location, come talk to me. I would ideally do your assessments, get you matched with one of my amazing coaches, or you'd work with myself to ensure that you'd be successful. Brownboyswimschool.com, my swim school, that's my specific swim school. I teach swim lessons all throughout the DMV area. I do residential lessons as well as I have a facility that I use on a consistent basis as well. Man of many talents. I'm a certified massage therapist. So if you need a massage, if you need someone to help stretch you out, I can help you along those lines. Brown Boys Swim School also is a smaller faction of Brown Boys LLC, which has a pool servicing business as well. So if you're looking to have your pool open, if you need your pool maintenance, if you need to learn how to swim in it, we're a one-stop shop for that as well. We do personal training outside of the LA fitness realm also. So if you need residential personal training, I offer that as well. All of those aspects are available on my website, brownboyswimschool.com, or you can type in brownboysllc.com to access all that information.
Nice, nice. So that is our show for the night. This is Mr. Wellington Brown. I am so honored that you joined us. Looking forward to getting out. What night? Can you tell us what days you teach your boot camp? I would like to get
Boot
people
camp,
out to your,
yes.
yeah.
Come to boot camp. So boot camp happens at the Bowie location every other Saturday. So the next one's going to be on March 21st. It happens
Okay.
on Saturdays, 12 p.m. to 12:45. Usually I will say 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. It's a really fun time. It's a big group of individuals who both work with coaches and don't. It's a group session, so you get to try out all the different coaches. We do different stations. It's a great way to hold yourself accountable. It builds a community. A lot of people show up on a consistent basis just to see their friends and see their progress. If you're looking for a workout that's going to be fun, interactive, not too much, but ideally it's tailored. If you need a little bit more, we'll make it a little bit more. If you need something that's just going to get yourself moving, it's a great time. Come by to the LA Fitness in Bowie. Come talk to us. We can have a great time together.
Love it. Love it. Well, I want to thank you for taking time tonight for being on the show. It has been an absolute honor and pleasure talking to you. Hopefully I can get you back on, and I hope to see individuals out in your class, out in the gym at LA Fitness over in Bowie. Great place to go, get your fitness on. And what's the best time? Are you there throughout the day, or what is your schedule like if they're looking for you specifically?
If you're looking to see me specifically, I'm at the LA Fitness in Bowie on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, ideally from 9 to 4 p.m. I also do it afternoon. I also there sometimes in the afternoons from 4 to 8 if necessary. So if you come in and you need to be in the later time, I can help you in that regard. Also, if you're looking to work closer to the Baltimore area or the Lansdowne location, I'm there usually on Tuesdays and Thursdays for the same hours. If you come to any of the LA Fitness locations and ask for Wellington, they'll put you in contact with myself, and then we can coordinate to figure out how we can meet.
All right. And that is it. Thank you so much, Wellington. I really appreciate you, appreciate all that you do. And I appreciate you being an advocate of or a picture of health for the community. So we'll continue to bring people to you and put that plug out there. And I look forward to seeing you on the next show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm glad to be here. Yes, advocate for we can all hit our fitness goals. Let's do it together. In
That's
Jesus' name, we
it.
speak it true. Amen.
I'm coming to get my new booty. Thank you.
There we go. Let's make it happen.
All right. You have a good night.
You
Thanks.
too.